What's good, guys? Welcome to the channel, right? As you can see from the screen, in this video, we are going to be going over Chainlink. Right now, it is down a whopping 8.5%. But if you have seen my previous videos before, you would have already known that I kind of said that this was going to occur, okay? But if you're new and you haven't seen my videos before, welcome, right? What I do on this channel is every day we drop technical analysis on crypto pairs, and this video is one of those, right? If that's something that you're interested in, smash the like button, please. And for sure, subscribe, because on air we do everything crypto, okay? And if you click this video, I think you'll like our content. So let's get into the video. So let's hop right on Trade and View. You go on the daily, go into the daily time frame, and what do we see? So yesterday's candlesticks pattern formed a nice bearish, strong bearish candle close, which indicated strong bearish momentum to the downside. And as you can see from that candle printing, it caused today's price action to continue further down because we are still in a bearish trend. And the upward movement, if you haven't seen my previous videos, if you have seen my previous videos, then you know what I'm about to say. But if you haven't seen them, you would have known that. If you had seen the videos, you would have known that Chainlink is in a downtrend, and we discussed how it was in a downtrend when price broke up below this uptrend structure, right? So we had what higher high, well higher low, and then price broke structure. We broke below this higher low to the left, putting in this lower low, and then we put in this lower high. This lower high confirmed the downward trend, right? So essentially, what's happening now on Chainlink, well, at least what has been happening for the past 2 weeks, so to say, we can say we're on a counter trend move, and this is typical since we just put in a lower low, which means this counter trend, which would be a counter trend from a downtrend, which is an uptrend. This uptrend has been pushing up to form new structure, which is this new lower high. Okay, let me clean this up for you guys. I get kind of carried away, right? So if the day's candle closes like this on the daily of Chainlink, then since we're in a downtrend, right, we just seem to have put in a lower high, then it only makes sense that price has a very high probability of continuing to the downside, at least to like here and maybe about here at about 1350. Okay, now obviously anything can happen. Price can easily bounce from this area right here, right? Can find supports around here, double bottom, and continue upward, right? And if you're bullish, that's something you kind of want to see. You would want to see a high low forming and price taking out this more recent higher high to the left. So that's what for Chainlink to be bullish again, we have to break this downtrend that we're in, and to break that, we're gonna have to start breaking structure more on the lower time frames. Okay, so let's drop on the 4-hour and see what the 4-hour is saying, right? If you can see on the 4-hour, you can see if you were monitoring this price action, you could have caught this bearish move, okay? And the signs that was so clear for this bearish move are simply, well, if you're a pattern trader, you can see right off the bat. I'm sure you've seen it. You see this head and shoulder pattern. Head and shoulder pattern confirmed break of the neckline after we broke here, made some sort of minor retest, and then died. The price just died. It really just died. It's so beautiful and so simple. Okay, and yeah, right now essentially, even on the 4-hour price, this uptrend or this counter trend, the 4 hasn't broke yet. That this uptrend, aka counter trend, the 4-hour, will be broken when this higher low is broken. Okay, and with this move now, possibly price can continue to its bearish push to the downside and break it. Okay, and that can give us probably a move like that. A move like this, if this do occur, this is one of the best areas you want to get in, since it would be after price is broken structure to the downside of the counter bullish trend that it was in, has broken that trend, created a lower low, and then had put in a lower high, which confirms the downtrend motion, and that would be price lining back up with the higher time frames trend, which usually causes a nice sharp push. Okay, so that's like kind of what I see happening with Chainlink. But for our traders, and that's also how you could have caught this opportunity in Chainlink if you was watching it today or this week. But for my traders, right now, if you didn't catch that sell, what you're waiting on is price to find some sort of support and then retrace some, right? And if this type of action occurs, what you're waiting on now for to take your sell what you're waiting on now to take your sell is simply for price to now find resistance and put in a new structure level, aka forming a new lower high, and then giving you some sort of entry reason, bearish entry reason off of that newly found resistance. Okay, and that's where I personally would take my entry and then continue into the downside, right? You may be asking why is that something I would want to wait for, right? I'll answer that by giving you an example of how that philosophy works out. You have a higher chance of being profitable with that type of philosophy, and I'll show you where that works, like right here. Simply just coming up, looking back a few moments in price, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. Okay, and when I say those are the areas, it's because look what I said. If you were looking for a sell, right? We saw a price. Let's say you missed the entry from up here, right? And you see price doing this. So essentially, what you want to see is you want to see let price go down, do its thing, wait for it to find support, right? Because you're looking for a sell again along with the sells, right? So wait for it to find a floor so it can bounce up a little bit, retrace. We call it a retracement or a pullback, right? And from that move, we're now waiting for price to find a resistance. And usually when price finds a resistance, signs of price finding resistance are wicks, right? Price starting to move sideways at the area, right? You see how it's moving sideways at the area, and then giving you some sort of bearish entry signal, telling you that price is ready to continue down to the downside. And that bearish entry signal would have been the same bearish engulfing candle right here. Okay, so you probably could have took an entry, let's say from below here, put your stops here, TP at the nearest zone / support, right? Mind you, it's not like a crazy trade, but that's not a bad scalp at all. Look how big that is for a scalp, right? For my scalpers out there, right? But essentially, I was just trying to show you guys why I say wait, why I'm usually saying wait for price to find support on a down if you're taking a sell, and then wait for it to find some sort of resistance, and then that's when you're hawking. Once you see like price has found that resistance, now you're stalking the charts and you're waiting for an entry signal to flow along with price. Another instance of that occurred right up above here. You see price basically kind of move sideways, constricted, start to play around at resistance, right? And bam, there's your bearish entry signal. Okay. Once again occurred over here, we could draw this across. Right? Price came back, retested. Let's say you had missed this. Another time, price find resistance, coming back, retest that area that you missed it, found found resistance off that area, and then putting a chart pattern called a double top. A double top. And from there, signs of price finding resistance were price starting to move sideways, small candles printing, wicks off of the resistance, right? All these are like signs that price is starting to find resistance because the bullish momentum is slowing down, right? And bears came in. Your first initial bearish entry signal was this nice, beautiful candle right here. You could have seen that, put a sell stop below and just ride price to the downside. And if you miss that, another entry would have been like right after price found support, pulled back, retraced, give signs that it was finding resistance. And if you could see that resistance was formed when price started to form wicks off of the area, started to move sideways, price kind of same, starting to become even smaller, and then a bearish entry signal was given by this bearish engulfing candle to the downside. Right, and the same thing occurred here. Price broke below support, confirmed support, found another support after made a new low, retraced some, found resistance. At the resistance, we were signs of resistance when we saw price starting to constrict, wick action, and then a bearish entry signal. And what happened? The price fell. Right? It's simple, and notice how the same scenario just constantly plays out. And if you're a pattern trader, you could have probably noticed this, right? I'm telling you, like, Head and Shoulders are on Link. There are key bearish signals from what I've seen from my most recent research, right? Another one is over here. If you were to go to the price action, you would constantly see those. So, if you enjoyed that video, smash the like button. For sure, subscribe. And welcome to the family, okay? See you guys tomorrow.